Okay, hopefully that worked itself out. Let me know if I'm all good. Hey Zach, am I live? Am I good? Let me know if I'm good. I think we're good, right? Hi everybody. Thanks for joining Sprints again. This is my second time and it's my first time doing it all by myself, so I'm a little nervous. And I also had technical difficulties. So Zach is technically here, but he's getting ready for work. So I didn't have his help on the back end setting things up. So let's see here. A bunch of comments from me, just updating you all. Hi, thanks for joining. What will you be reading? Hi, Erin. I don't know what I'll be reading, but I'll be doing laundry during the first sprint. Nice. That's a great thing to put on while you're doing laundry. I actually do the same thing. I was on sprints a lot yesterday because I was doing a lot of housework. Hey, so glad that I can join in on the sprints today. I'm reading Bird Box. That's one I have not read yet, but one I'm definitely interested in. So I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know. Um, hey, Lauren. Hi. Hello, I literally found these sprints 30 seconds ago. Yeah, I didn't put them. The first time we did sprints, me and my husband, we gave like a week's notice, maybe. I can't quite remember. But this time I was like, you know what? Why not a little bit more spur of the moment because I don't have work today and I have a meeting that's not until later on. So I was like, I have time. I'll try and do it by myself. I don't have Zach technically this time, but you know what? I can handle this. So if you all talk with me, I'll be good to talk with you. Working and listening to The House Across the Lake. Nice. I haven't read that one, but it's one that I've definitely heard mixed reviews for. Let me know what you think about it. Um, Lauren, I'm still reading and loving The Castaways. It's getting so good. I Were you the one who put it in your story too that said you were reading that? I ended up finding it on Amazon and added it to my list and everything because it really does sound good and it sounds right up my alley. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. How much do you have left? Nakia! I love you. I'm working, so unfortunately I can't sprint, but I'm here for the chat. We love Nakia. If you don't watch Nakia or subscribe to her, you should because she's a gem in this community and she's awesome. So definitely go follow her and check her out. But I am still working on the Pallbearers Club. I haven't read a ton since the last sprints I did. I'm now on page 77 and it's like I don't know. There's not a lot of plot honestly that goes on in this book, so I'm just kind of working my way through. I don't know if I've gotten to, like the heart of the story or whatever because I'm still 77 pages of the way in, but it's fine. I'm enjoying I like the setup of it, right? It's written well. I like the annotations. If you didn't know, this is kind of you're basically reading a memoir, honestly, and then um someone else is annotating the memoir that you're reading from, and so you can see her different annotations and she's kind of snarky, and I guess you're trying to figure out who's telling the story correctly. So that's been pretty cool, and it's also a newer release, so and my first Paul Tremblay. So if you've read any Paul Tremblay, let me know because like I said, this is my first one. I don't know if I should start The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley or The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I have not read The Hunting Party either, but I think Zach, my husband, did not like The House Across the Lake, but he did like The Hunting Party. So I don't know. I think The House Across the Lake is maybe more summery, and I think The Hunting Party is a little bit more wintry. So if you're looking for a cold escape, maybe go with The Hunting Party. But if you're wanting to stick with the season, maybe stick with The House Across the Lake. Let me know what you choose though. How are you enjoying all of the horror books you've been reading lately? And you are the best. Thanks. Yeah, I just started reading horror books this year, and it's definitely been a ride so far. I haven't really gotten to like the big horror books. I've been reading a lot of novellas, but I'm enjoying them. So you'll see a good amount in my July wrap up video, which I'm filming in the next couple days. And nice. And I keep like forgetting people's names. I'm so sorry, but I think I followed you on Instagram as well. But yeah, I think I've read 9 books in July, and maybe 4 or 5 of them have been horror novellas. So we'll definitely get to talk about them. We read Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay for our book club, and everyone hated it, but I gave it 5 stars. I adored it. Yeah, I haven't. I think that that is a totally different book than this one is, and this one is um marketed as a horror, but nothing really horrifying has happened yet. So I don't know if I'm still, working my way towards that, or if there's just not a lot of horror in the book. But like I said, it's kind of plotless. I feel like I'm just literally reading this guy's memoir. So we'll see. And I'm hoping to get a good chunk of it done in these sprints here. So fingers crossed. Are you planning on reading Clown in a Cornfield too? Yes, I am. I think I ended up giving, I'll talk about that in my July wrap up too. I think I'm settling at a four clowns in a cornfield, or clown in a cornfield. It's in between a 3.5 and 4. So maybe a 3.75, but that's like chaotic. So I don't know. I'm not gonna like list that as my rating, but it was good enough that I would read the sequel, and I'm glad that I read it this one now instead of a while ago when Zach read it, because the story's nice and fresh, and it was a perfect summer horror teen slasher book. So I read it for Summerween, and yeah, it worked for the time I was reading it. Now I feel like I have to read Cabin at the End of the World because of the M. Night adaptation coming soon. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that that was coming. I'm not super versed in movies, but that sounds cool. Zach read that one, and I think he gave it 3.5 stars. But also, Nikia, aren't you? You just read The House Across the Lake for Kayla's live show, right? Is that the one that you read? I know that you're about to be on that. So that's pretty cool. You could see we can get what Nakia thinks of the book here. I've been reading too many summer books lately, so The Hunting Party it is. Nice. There you go. Let us know how it is. I'm reading Death of a Kitchen Diva by Lee Hollis and starting Willing Victim by Kara McKenna. Nice. I actually haven't heard of either of those, but I hope you're liking them. Hello, attempting to read Culty. Oh, I saw you talking about that, or I guess I heard you talking about that on your reading sprints yesterday. I think Mariana Zapata, maybe? Hopefully I got that right. Are you enjoying it? I'm so excited he's adapting it too. He's one of my favorite directors. I think they renamed it Knock at the Cabin for the movie. Oh, nice. I am familiar with him as a director, but yeah, I haven't seen. I'm not like a big movie buff, so I don't know. Nakia, I'm still reading The House Across the Lake, so I don't have a final opinion yet. So far, it's not bad though. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm glad you're liking it, because I know a lot of people have mixed reviews for that one. Um, yes, I did. I like the new title. Oh, cool. It's okay. I'm not super into it. Is that a long one? I haven't read anything by that author. I'm assuming it's a KU title. Um, and is it long or short? I don't know. It's an author I definitely want to get into, but I don't know a whole lot about her. So it's someone I would definitely need to research a little bit more. So yeah, if you just popped in, I said I'm reading The Pallbearers Club. I could probably put that on my name, but so that I don't get asked a ton, but if people ask, it's not that big of a deal. Let's see here. I'm like still new to this, so hopefully I am doing everything right. Hopefully that shows up good. Yeah, so I usually do 30-minute sprints. Is that good for everyone else to start with? Maybe we could do longer in a little while or something, but maybe start off with the 30. How do we feel about that? And then go to 150 my time, I guess. It depends on when yours is. Yeah, it's 120 my time. So let's do read until 50. There we go. 30 minutes sounds good. All right. See you in 30. All right. I got another 20 pages in. I forgot I don't have the cover on. Got another 20 pages into the Pallbearers Club. If you saw Zach pop in, he was leaving for work, which was why he couldn't do the sprints with us. But let me know how far you got in your book and how you're liking it and everything. I'm still like, fine. This book isn't like anything spectacular, but I'm still going to keep working my way through it because I just want to know what is going to happen. Because, like I said, not a lot has happened at all. So I'm just trying to figure out where this book is actually going and where the horror is. I mean, technically, there's some mention of there's like a vampire like undertone kind of in this book, but it's not very like I think we're trying to figure out if this is like a supernatural story or not. So that's kind of what I'm working with. Let's see here. Zach, I wish I could be there. Enjoy your book. Have a good reading spurt. Yeah, so he just left and he will be working. It's technically about to be 2 o'clock where I'm at. And so he works until 10 o'clock tonight. So he'll be gone a long while. I was deciding between doing sprints now or after my meeting later on, but I was like, let's just do it now. Read 5% of Death of a Kitchen Diva. Nice. Are you liking it? Oh, shoot. I read 20 pages too, and this book is making me want to rewatch Lost all over again. Awesome. That sounds really good. I've actually never watched that before. 30 pages read in Bird Box. Slow beginning, but it's picking up now. Have you watched the movie based on this book, or were you wanting to read the book first? I love Sandra Bullock, so it's definitely a something I would be interested in watching, but I would probably read the book first, but that's not in my current plans. I'm still working on my August TBR. If you have figured out yours, let me know what you're planning to read in August. Yay for the sprint. I started watching the movie, but I got too scared to finish. I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the story in general. I just know that what they're blindfolded and if their eyes like catch the creatures or the monsters or something, like it's no good for them. Is that what it is? Maybe I'm making that up. I Zach told me about it. He read it, I think, back in 2020 or something like that. And so I can't fully remember what all he said about it. It was something like that. Yes, I'm liking it. 83% in. Nice. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought they did a good job adapting the book. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I actually sometimes I like seeing the movie before I read a book just because I really do like seeing like for Gone Girl, I obviously watched the movie before I read the book because I only read the book this year. And it was nice to be able to put, faces to the names in the book. And so I actually don't really hate on the whole like movie first then book because it can kind of be helpful. It's a cozy mystery. I kind of assumed. I just recently got into them. I normally read romance. Nice. What kind of romance do you like? What's your favorite trope? I haven't read anything, any cozy mysteries, before, I don't think, but it's something I think I could be into. Also, I have a 3-pound bag of gummies getting delivered today. Nice. From Amazon. That sounds yummy. Cool. Yeah, so I normally read, I normally really read dark romance, I'm assuming is what you're saying. I haven't read much of that either. I haven't read romance in a while just because I've kind of been out of the romance game lately, but I got some for my birthday, so I'm interested to check some of those out. I'm planning to do a book haul soon on my channel, a sit down video, but I haven't gotten around to filming that yet. Because technically, most of it is from my birthday, but Summerween had just started around my birthday, so I couldn't film it and post it around then. So I still need to get around to doing that. I love watching adaptations, but I have to read the book first if I'm gonna read it at all. Yeah, and I know that most people are like that. They want to read the book first. And that definitely makes sense because the book is obviously what is the base for the movie. So that totally makes sense. The only reason why I sometimes it works for me is like I said, because I was able to picture, Ben Affleck in Gone Girl and all the other characters. So I see what you're saying. Um, yeah, so I'm working on filming my August TBR or getting it together. One of the books that's definitely going to be in it, I have sitting here, is The Chain because Zach and I are actually buddy reading that. So I know for sure that that is going to be in my August TBR. And honestly, that'll probably be the next book that I pick up after the Pallbearers Club because we both are probably going to do audiobook and physically read. And so one of us needs to read it before the other. What kind of romance are you interested in? I know for sure that I'm not super into historical romance. Um, and the romance I usually stumble upon is like, the traditionally published with, the like cartoon characters on the front. But what was the last romance I liked? I'm trying to see the title. I read a Tracy Garvis Graves and I really liked it. I actually gave it to my mom right after I finished reading it, and she really liked it too. It's something like, I don't know. I think it's her most popular book that I read, but I literally can't think of the name of it. I guess I could look it up on my phone, but I didn't really want to be on my phone while on the stream. Let's see if I can figure it out. What are some of your favorite romance, Tina? Tracy Garvis. Hopefully that's even her name. Tracy Garvis Graves. Um, The Girl He Used to Know. That was the one that I read. That's the last romance book that I read. And I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of interesting to read it too because it's set in at U of I, University of Illinois. And that's where my parents' romance story began. And so that's why I gave it to her right away because I was like, I think you might like this. And it's set at a place you would know very well. And so it was pretty good. I liked that one a lot. Um, but yeah, let me know some of the August books that you're wanting to read because I need some more to put on my TBR. And I don't really know what exactly I'm feeling like reading. So I'm still working on putting that together. I literally actually brought over my pen and notebook where I put down video ideas so that I could work on that maybe during a sprint because I don't know if I'm gonna stay into the Pallbearers Club during however many sprints we do. But yeah, that's how far I am. You can kind of see it's a movie stub that I'm using as my bookmark because when I started reading this, I couldn't find a bookmark. So that's what I had next to me. But yeah, that's kind of what I am working on. And I also, let's see what this one's about. The Chain. This one has an insane premise. And so I've heard people say that the premise sounds really good, but it doesn't deliver. So hopefully that doesn't happen for us. I think it's about like there's a chain, literally the chain. So like one set of parents need to like kidnap another kid and then like their kid gets to live. And then the parents of that kid has to go kidnap another kid, something like that. I think that's the chain reaction that we're following. I could be way off, but I think that's what it is. I don't know. Lena was on Sprints the other day and was reading this. So I'll have to ask her how she's liking it now because it's been a few days. So maybe she's gotten into it. But yeah, I know for sure that's what I want to read. I don't normally read cartoon cover romances, but It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey is a favorite. Ooh, I've actually heard that, and that's the one that's kind of like loosely based off of Schitt's Creek, right? Zach just texted me. He probably like made it to work or something. Yeah, he always texts me when he gets to work. Says like, "Have a good day." I'm so sorry, I'm yawning. But yeah, I think that's one that's kind of based on Schitt's Creek, if I'm not mistaken. I read a Tessa Bailey book. I read the first one, "Fix You, Fix Her," something like that. It was a purple cover. That one was like okay. The pet names in that book were like out of this world and like very often. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was amazing. Yeah, I watched Schitt's Creek. I watched Schitt's Creek to read it, but obviously you don't have to. Schitt's Creek is a fantastic show. I've already watched it. I actually finished watching it with Zach, and then I went back and rewatched the whole series after finishing it because I loved it that much. It's one of my new all-time favorite shows. So it's definitely a keeper for me. So yeah, we'll probably be ready to do another sprint here. Figured like maybe half-hour sprints and then like 10 to 15 minutes just chatting and then another sprint. I don't know how long we're going to go for. Anyone have any preferences? How long you want to sprint for today? What are you up to today? Let me know. I think I'm about to cough. I'm so sorry. um I have nothing going on for the next 3 hours until I have a meeting, which is a very exciting meeting, but one I'm also a little nervous about. So, yeah, I was like, if I just sit here thinking about the meeting, then my day is going to feel like forever. So that's why I wanted to plan some sprints at some time today. But I also kind of wanted to do sprints later after the meeting. So I don't know. I try not to do sprints when everyone else or when there's other creators doing it because I don't want to have to because I like watching sprints too, and if I have multiple people that I like who are doing it at the same time, it's like sucks to have to pick who to watch. I'm good for a while. I don't have anything to do. Nice. I'm working, but it's slow today, so I'm secretly sprinting. Well, thanks for joining. I'm good with that. That's kind of what I do too. I will, if I'm working or doing something, I'll just kind of have it on in the background. So let's do another 30. Of course, I'm at an awkward time now. Read until, oop, a book. I thought my mom was actually going to join these today, but I haven't seen her comment yet. So, mom, if you're joining, share a comment so I know you are, so I can say hi and that I love you. Do whoa, 335. That's not right. Read until 35. There we go. It'll be like 32 minutes. Do that. And then I'll do that. And I'll see you all in a half hour. All right. I just got to an interesting part of the book. Finally, I'm starting to figure out what is going on. Something spooky just happened, so we're getting to a good place. And if you don't know, because I've had comments covering it, I'm reading The Pallbearers Club. And I'm on page, I was literally just there, 110, 111, something like that. So we're making good progress. How are you doing? Where are you at? What are you reading if you just joined? Let me know. Tim, hello. Not sure what I'm going to be reading yet. I'm when that feels like my book that I read at night. I understand. Actually, I think Doomickey is one that Zach has not read yet. I think that's the one with like the beach on the cover, right? If I know my Stephen King, which I don't really know much about him at all, honestly. I also brought out my little tabs that I use for annotating because I wanted to mark where the spookiness starts in this book. So I brought these out, which I can link these below possibly. I get them on Amazon and I got all of these in a cool set. So yeah, I wanted to mark where the spookiness began so I can be in my wrap up be like, look, the first 100 pages, you got to kind of muddle through a little bit and then you might get to some action eventually. Let's see. Yes, it has the beach on the cover. Okay, cool. I think Zach only has like between 15 and 20 Stephen King books left to read, and I know that that's one of them. How are you liking it? Read 7%. Nice, Tina. Hi, Mom. I'm reading One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's hard to put down. I know. You read, this is my mom. She's read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and then that's the only one she's read so far. So I got this one for my birthday, and I just saw my mom a few days ago, and so I brought her a few different books to try out because I usually give her the books first, let her read them, and then because I have plenty of other ones to check out. So I'm glad that you're liking it. Debbie, since seeing some talk in the cabin at the end of the road, wow, nice. I'm glad you're liking it. Or are you liking it, actually, I should say. I love Libby. That's a great app to get free ebooks and audiobooks. I like Doomickey. It's similar to Bag of Bones, but I like it better than Bag of Bones. Oh, nice. I actually don't really know what Doomickey is about, so if you wanted to let me know, you can, or I can look it up later. But I know that um, that one is kind of, I think that's one of his more popular ones, maybe. I'm not totally sure, but uh, I do know that that's one that Zach is wanting to get to soon because of the cover and everything. You're liking it? Great. I'm reading Gone Girl. Okay. How are you liking Gone Girl? And have you seen the movie? Let me know. It's a great book. I really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, I hope that you're enjoying it. That's amazing. Let's see how much I have left in here. I think I have like 150 pages left in my book, maybe 160. So I'm really hoping to finish it today so I can start on something new because I don't want to be reading this forever. Now that something spooky has happened, now I'm hoping to like fly through it because I've been like kind of reading through this a little slow because I'm trying to piece together what's been happening. I actually brought out, I don't know if I already mentioned this, like a notebook that I take notes on for books because then it'll make it easier to talk about in my wrap ups. But I haven't taken any notes for this book yet because I'm just like, I don't know what to write down. You loved Gone Girl? Nice. I did too. Doomickey is about a guy who gets into an accident at work and loses an arm. Oh, he also gets a divorce. So he moves to the Florida Keys and he starts becoming a painter, painting pictures. And oh, the painter one. I feel like Zach just read. I thought Rose Matter had something to do with painting because he was talking about, he just read that and I thought he mentioned something about painting with that one. I could be totally wrong. Like I said, I don't really know much about Stephen King books. Just he'll kind of talk to me about them after he finishes them, and I'm like, okay, cool. Um, yeah, I haven't read any, but I am planning to do a video eventually on my channel where Zach will get to pick my first Stephen King book I ever read, and then I'll like vlog it and everything. So that's a little tease for video coming soon to whoever's watching now. But yeah, I do have that one in the plans. And I'm also working on a different reading vlog that has kind of a theme to it. So I've been taking notes on that one and making sure I can get the books out of the library that I need for it. So that's what I'm doing. There's a supernatural aspect to it where he is kind of painting things in a way where he's kind of getting messages from the dead and painting them. Oh, wow. That sounds interesting. Is that one of the longer ones by Stephen King? About how long is that? I was looking up, I wanted to do an audiobook with whatever physical book that I chose, but man, so many of his books are like a 20-hour audiobook, and I don't listen to it at just one time speed, so I know that that's what they're showing is the one time speed, but still, like 10 hours, I mean, it could be worse, but still, a lot of my audiobooks I choose like are at one time speed. Like I try to aim for like 10 hours or less, maybe like 12 hours or less. Because if I have to stick with a book, I like a fast book. So if I'm going to need to be, with that book for that long to finish a 20-hour audiobook, I'm probably not going to be picking it up. This book I feel like I've been reading for a while, even though I just started it on Sunday. But that's just because it's felt like a slow process. Like I have started, like I said, on Sunday, but I've only gotten 100 pages in, and I feel like I've been reading it for like a year. It's just been slow. I think I'm not 100% on what is happening with the plot yet. It's close to 700 pages. I'm around the 400 page mark. Wow, that's a long way. That's a far page count to not get a lot of plot yet. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I feel like I don't read a lot of books that are more than like 500 pages. That's kind of like my like cutoff. If it's more than that, then I'm probably not reading it unless, I mean, I've only had my channel for like 3 weeks, but unless I was doing a video or something for it, I'm probably not choosing a book that's more than 500 pages. A lot of the like thrillers and stuff, especially because I read a lot of thrillers, if a thriller book is 500 pages, then I know right away that there's got to be like 200 pages that like don't matter, in my opinion. That's what I see. If you, I feel like a thriller should only need to be like 300 pages to get the backstory, to get, the twists and everything. Obviously, there's exceptions to that, but I don't know. A 500-page thriller is like kind of long. Um, yeah, short chapters especially too. I really like short chapters. I feel more productive for some reason. I completely agree. What's the book I was just talking about? The Haunting of Hill House. This book has been a slow process because, yeah, I think this one had long chapters, but it also not only has long chapters, it just has huge blocks of text. And I always get confused with the camera. Like over here, like that's all one just block. And so I feel like if, especially when I'm physically reading a book, like I feel like I'm just like getting lost within the chapter because there's not a lot of like, breaking up. That's my struggle though, and that could just be me like just being really slow or something, but I don't know. Actually, fun fact, I mentioned in my last sprint, I haven't always been a reader. I was like when I was younger. Um that just makes me nervous. Oh, for the Haunting of Hill House. I in high school, I literally took I in high school I was definitely not reading books. Do you read the audio and physical combined? That is ideal. Zach reads less physical, just like I'm only doing the physical with this. He doesn't do that as much. He likes to do both together or just audio. I can do physical reading like I am now, but my ideal would be doing the audio and following physically, because especially if it's told, if the audiobook is read by the author, um that's kind of a fun experience. They're reading the words on the page how they felt like they were writing it. So, they're enunciating everything how they would have wanted you to read it and stuff like that. So, I really am I'm a huge fan of audiobooks, and we have a lot of audiobook apps that we enjoy. So if you're looking for some, I can definitely suggest some. But yeah, my ideal would be audio and physical. I'm just doing physical for this because I wasn't sure if because if you're new here, this book has, of course, I'm on a page that is literally just the girl talking. I know my mom is new here. So in this book, all these red parts, where is it? Over here on the sides, it's this girl annotating this memoir that they're writing, that the main character wrote. And so I wasn't sure how the audiobook was going to be with that, if it was going to be easy to decipher, like when you're listening to an annotation versus, the actual text. And a lot of people have said, because I've been in a bunch of reading sprints this week while reading this book, and a lot of people have said that the audiobook works just fine. So um, I heard the audio for TPC makes it really clear who's talking. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. What's How do you guys like to read books? Are you more of an audio, a physical, or an ebook? Let me know. I'd definitely be interested. Because I also have a Kindle. It's probably dead right now, but that's kind of where I read more of my arcs that I get. That's pretty much what I use my Kindle for. I'm not often, searching for ebooks to read, but I do like reading from the Kindle too. So I actually am someone who can do any form of reading. I'd probably say I like audiobooks the most, though, because I can multitask. I only read with audio. Nice. Because I have like literally 2 baskets of laundry to do. And so that'd be a time I'm either listening to a podcast or listening to an audiobook. And I pretty much always have a physical, an audio, and an ebook going. I currently have an arc going on my Kindle. It's the Ashley Flowers book that's coming out soon. All Good People Here is maybe what it's called. And then my physical read is The Pallbearers Club and Haunting of Hill House, but that's not really getting me anywhere. I combine audio with physical almost every time, or audio and ebook if I don't have the physical. Yeah, I really enjoy an audiobook. It helps a lot because I struggle with reading, so I can follow along with an ebook or a physical. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of me too. It helps me stay focused, and I don't know. We just recently we moved like 3 years ago, so we didn't have any excuses for just getting library cards now, but we just got library cards, so now we don't have to like buy as many books. We kind of have a system what we do. Um, we kind of buy books from like Barnes and Noble, new releases, read them, and then we sometimes return them, which is maybe not the best method. I wouldn't recommend. But now that we have a library, we can just check out books. And also, we do audiobooks from Audible, is our favorite place because it has a huge catalog, obviously. They also have originals. And I think a lot of books that have audiobooks, um, a lot of them are exclusive to Audible. Like I couldn't find an audiobook for what was it? A lot of Darcy Coates books you can only get on Audible and they wouldn't be available on different services. But I do like Libro FM too. I'm a big fan of that one. And it also gives back to like independent bookstores, which I'm definitely here for. So we listen a lot through that too. We're part of the influencer program, so we get a bunch of free ones at the start of each month. And so we a lot of times use those. And then Libby is another free one. But my library catalog through Libby is not very good. There's not a large selection of books available, so I'm so jealous because, for instance, like I'll mention Gabby. Because I watch a lot of her videos. She has Libby, and she can check out books on Libby. And I feel like she always has like a ton of titles available and can put them on hold and stuff. But like my library, it doesn't have that. So Libby isn't the most helpful to us just because our catalog isn't very expansive. I love having the physical. Hi, by the way. I love having the physical copy, but I do read on my iPad a lot because I'm able to make the words bigger. Yeah, that's a nice trick. If you can make the words bigger on an iPad, or if you make the text bigger on the Kindle, it actually makes you feel like you're reading faster because obviously you're turning the page more often. And so that's a nice hack if you're trying to, get through books faster. It kind of makes it feel like you are. But if it is a graphic novel, manga, or under 70 pages, um, hold on, let me try this again. If it's a graphic novel, manga, or under 70 pages, it needs an audiobook for me to read. Hmm. I hope I'm not quite sure if it's that small you don't need an audiobook anymore, you could physically read it. I don't know. You can let me know. Sorry, Tina. Same, currently doing things we do in the dark for the physical, the cabin at the end of the world for the ebook, and every summer after for audiobook. I also just got every summer after for my birthday, and mom, if you're still here, that's another paperback I need to give you to read. And things we do in the dark. If you can see, I was talking in my last stream I was talking about book carts that we have, and this is the book of the month one we have. I can show you like a little bit. There's 3 different tiers, and I have book of the month books on all of them. The top one is books we reference often in videos or just like talking. And then the second one is books, or this is a shelf that we like want to read soon. And then there's 2 more that have just a bunch of other ones. But things we do in the dark, which is what Debbie is talking about, is right here. If I can get it out. And this is also a book I want to read by Jennifer Hillier. I've heard really good things about this one. And so I'm excited about it. I haven't read anything by this author, so I'm just going to have to stick that up here. So I'm excited for that one. Oh, hello. I am. Thanks, Mom. Broward County Library is free to join online as a U.S. resident, and you can add their catalog to your Libby. Then you can switch in between your local library and Broward's catalogs. That's interesting to know. Thank you for the tip. Yeah, because I technically still have a library card from where I used to live, where I grew up, and even that catalog isn't very good. They have a different app that they use for their audiobooks. I think it's called Cloud Library. You can let me know, Mom, because I know that she reads from there. I think it's the app Cloud Library that they use exclusively for that library. And so they don't even have any catalog on Libby. So makes it difficult. I've been admiring that cart. I love the organization. Thank you. I actually have a matching one a little bit down the road here, and that one has thriller books that are on I'm getting a package right now, on my TBR, or ones that we've read, and thank you. And I'll have to show that in a video coming up soon. But yeah, this one is just the book of the month one, which I'm excited for August because there's some thrillers on the docket that I'm definitely interested in. Yeah, so if it's under 70 pages, I can have my phone read it to me. Okay, because it sounds like Siri, and I don't want to read a long book sounding like Siri. I get what you mean. That kind of would be crazy. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah. I think you're talking about the library. It takes me about 5 minutes to read a page. So normally when I read with my eyes, it has to be under like 20 pages. I get that. I'm a slow physical reader too, especially like I said, when there's these big blocks of text, it takes me a while to get through one paragraph because I'm just like getting lost in the middle of it. So I totally get what you mean. I think they have another one too. Is that about the library? I have 2 library cards. One is from where we used to live, and one is from where I live now. Yeah, so same for me. But the one we live now has like a fine catalog, but the wait lists are always so long, which is kind of surprising because I don't live in a huge um, town. So I'm surprised that there's always such long wait lines. But I think because I don't live in a huge town, the library only gets like one, maybe two copies of a book. So everyone's fighting for that one copy. So I don't know. But my old one is not that good. My new one is a lot better. Yeah, same. So that's that on that. I guess we can start another. Um, oh, you're back. I get most of my books from my library. Very nice. Um, I loved your video today, by the way. The Goodreads one. I really enjoyed it. But I mostly read independently published books, so both libraries don't have my normal reads. Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of the horror novellas and stuff that we read, it makes Kindle Unlimited worth it, and those you can't really find on at a library or anything because they're just so indie. So let's do read until 3:30. No, I'm not going to say 30. Read until 30. New releases I buy on my Kindle because they're so hard to come by at my local library. Definitely. The wait times are always just crazy. So I totally get what you mean. But I hope your workday is not too bad, and I'm happy that you're still joining even though you're at work. All right, read until 30. Let's see how far we can get. All right. I got very distracted that sprint because Zach has been texting me from work that someone um, got sick in his department. And so he doesn't have any help today. So he's working by himself, which sucks for him because that happens a lot to him. Um, how was that sprint? Hi. Love you. You're my fave. If you don't follow Erin, you should, even though you probably do, because she's awesome and one of my favorite booktubers, along with Nikia, which I mentioned earlier. And unfortunately, she's at work right now, so she can't chat a lot. But how are you liking Things We Do in the Dark? If you're still here, I'd love to know. I literally only read like 12 pages or something just because Zach is just like texting my ear off. So, um, yeah, not too bad. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to finish this book today like I thought because I have a meeting in an hour and a half. And so, like I said, I wanted to do reading sprints tonight after my meeting because I think my meeting is only going to be like a half hour or something. So I the book is good, really sad actually. I'm so sorry to hear that actually. Yeah, I want to read that book so bad. But yeah, I was gonna do sprints tonight too. Zach was like, you should just do them both times. And I was like, yeah, I'm not that cool. Um, had to dip out for a really long phone call. Sorry, you're okay. No worries at all. Another one reading Things We Do in the Dark. 152 pages in. Very intrigued so far. Nice. Um, Finished Death of a Kitchen Diva. It's 4.25 stars and had 15 minutes left of the sprint, so made a fancy drink. Ooh, what did you make? Nice job finishing your book. Hi, Danielle. I love Nakia and Aaron and you, of course. Good luck with your meeting. Thank you. It's nothing crazy. There's a business close to us that is wanting to start a social media presence, and because they want to make a YouTube, a TikTok, and everything. And I have experience in doing that. So they asked me to come by and help them, give them tips and tricks and everything. Because if you did not know, a lot of the back end of, well, my channel is 100% me. I do all the back end and everything. Zach's channel, he obviously does the filming and he comments back to people and everything, and he does some editing, but I do some of his editing too, and I do some of like the back end stuff for him, and I really like making thumbnails, so I do that for him. So they wanted to meet with both of us, but Zach has works. I would love sprints tonight. I don't think I'm that cool. I don't know if people would come see me again. Yay for both sprints. I literally have nothing else to do. Um, but yeah, they wanted to like pick my brain a little bit, and I told them that I would come because I randomly it's not actually that fancy. It's just a can of soda. I sweetened some fruit punch, put it in a Sprite and a fancy glass. Nice. Um they wanted Zach and I to both come do the meeting, but Zach had work. And randomly, I am off work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week, but then all of my hours are basically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I was like, well, I'd have time to do some like live reading sprints because it actually does help me stay focused and read too, because I am someone who gets distracted very easily. And so, if I like literally, Zach is just like talking my ear off. He knows I'm on live. Crazy kid. And so it helps me stay focused to read because I'm like, well, there's nowhere else I can be right now because I'm hanging out with my friends. So they're very helpful towards me too. And I really wanted to try and finish this book today because I just want to get it done. If the book ended right now, it'd be a 2 star, which probably some people would say, well, DNF it then if you're not enjoying it that much. I don't want to DNF it because I feel like there is going to be a purpose. Like I want to see where this is going, but I genuinely feel like the first 100 pages were so slow. Like I was just slogging my way through it, and it genuinely felt like I was reading like nonfiction. I liked the annotating part of it, and I really like her and seeing everything that she's doing. And we're like picking up the pace a little bit, but I'm getting confused. And so I'm like, it's taking me longer to read pages because I feel like I have to go back and reread a paragraph that I already read. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like quick enough to figure all this out. So I'm doing my best. But yeah, Zach was like, just do sprints both times. And I was like, ugh. I feel like I'm just going to be talking to myself. Um, I'm a pro DNF, but sometimes you have to see the whole thing through to make sure you hate it. Yeah, because I would hate for this to end in like a cool way because it's a cool concept of a book. And so I would love to see I want to see where it ends, but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely someone who will gladly DNF a book too. I don't do it often, but I definitely have nothing against doing it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna finish it just because I want to know where it goes, but it's definitely slow. If you're going to be picking this one up, here, let me um do that. If you're going to be picking this one up, just know it's not fast paced. You're not going to get through it in one sitting. It's not one where you're going to be like, "Oh, I can read this in one sitting." At least for me, it's definitely not been the case. So, I don't know. Now I don't even remember where I left off. Totally fine if you want to do sprints later too. Thanks, Tina. Nikia, still here. Oh, you're the best. Nikia, what did you say that you're currently reading? You're still currently reading The House Across the Lake? I know you're not reading like right now, but I think I can't remember if you said you finished it or not. Um, Nikia is a great place to go for thrillers and also sci-fi, which there's definitely some sci-fi that I have on my radar to check out. So let's see. You should sprint tonight. I'm reading one of Zach's Rex Pet Cemetery. It's getting more scary, so it would help to read with other people. That's definitely one of Zach's favorite books, which funny enough, Aaron, if you're still here, we had Aaron on our podcast, and I know that Aaron is like one of the only people who does not like that book, which we talked about on the podcast, which is why I'm bringing it up. But Zach loved Pet Cemetery. I told him, I mentioned this earlier if you weren't here, that I'm planning to do a reading vlog or a video that Zach gets to choose my first Stephen King book, because if you did not know, he's a massive Stephen King fan, blah, 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 blah. And so I told him he could pick my first book and then I would read it. But I told him I did not want it to be Pet Cemetery or It. It because of the length. I'm not starting my Stephen King journey with over 1,000 pages. And Pet Cemetery because I didn't want to start something scary. So that's what I'm thinking. Hello. Yes, I'm still reading House Across the Lake and just started Get a Life, Chloe Brown, getting overwhelmed by all that I have to read. Well, yeah, when's the live show? You probably have a few days still, right? Is it maybe next weekend? Um, are you interested in any Stephen King books? I am interested in some of his books. I wouldn't say I'm like, there's not like a laundry list of them because there's so many. I'm interested in The Shining just because I do like the movie. I know that they're totally different, but I'm interested in that story. I'm interested in The Long Walk because the premise sounds intriguing, which I know sounds dumb. That one is like there's a contest, there's 100 like boys and they basically have to walk, the long walk. And if you stop at any time, I think this is the premise. I mean, you can kind of guess what might happen to you. Um, I'm interested in Misery and I'm interested in not later, Joyland because I like an amusement park style book. I read Pet Cemetery when I was 8 years old because my dad told me I wasn't allowed to read it. I didn't sleep for a year. Listen to your parents. That's so funny. Aaron, I do strongly dislike that book. Yeah, when we were talking to Aaron, everything that we would say, or not me, Zach would say, she has almost the exact opposite taste of Zach. There were a couple books here and there that they agreed on, but like for instance, he would be like, "Oh, I hated The House Across the Lake," and Erin is someone who enjoyed it. She did a whole video on it. You should go check it out. And I'm trying to think of other books we talked about that it was just like, no, I hated it. Final Girls is Zach's another Riley Sager book that Zach strongly disliked and Erin strongly liked. I'm always watching sprints. When I wake up, I'll look for them and add them to a playlist so I can watch them throughout the day. That's a great idea. Yeah, I've really gotten into the reading sprint thing, even being like a guest, I mean, because it is definitely helpful. And especially when you're just like watching, you can have it on in the background and be doing other stuff too, and then read when you want to. It's great. I loved the long walk. Yeah, I told him some that I would maybe appreciate him picking more. And that was one of them that I was like, I wouldn't be mad at that. The House Across the Lake live show is August 7th, but I'm trying to finish for my wrap up. Doesn't look like it'll happen. You have what, like 5 days? What day is it? The 26th. Yeah, you've got 5 more days. You can do it. You gotta hop on reading sprints when you don't have to work. Hopefully. I loved the long walk. Good to know. I'm excited for it. Ugh, DNF'd Final Girls. I don't know if Final Girls would be one that I would enjoy. I've only read one Riley Sager book, and that is Lock Every Door. A very good one. I haven't read any of the other ones, but I'm not super. I don't know if slasher is. I'm still new to. I guess that one's more of a thriller. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what my like trope is, and I don't know if slasher is like my thing. I think it might be, but I've just heard such bad reviews for that book, so it kind of puts me off from picking it up. But if you guys in the chat have read, I know that Riley Sager is a popular author. Let me know your favorite Riley Sager, and I'll see which one I should pick up next. Because I'm not sure I want to pick up. I do want to read more by him, but I'm not sure which one. A lot of his books are in this cart too. It's kind of hard to see. One I'm really intrigued with is The Last Time I Lied because I like the campy vibes. I oddly when you see my July wrap up, I randomly read, I think, like a decent amount of campy books, which was not intentional by any means, but Final Girls was barely a slasher book. It was boring. Oh gosh. I liked Home Before Dark. That's one that I know a lot of people have liked as well. I've seen a lot of more positive reviews, which again, back to Erin being opposite is I think maybe her least favorite or something. I don't know. She always it's so funny. Her and Zach just have the most opposite reading tastes. It's just hilarious. But I'm right, Erin, right? That Final Girls was like your favorite one? Oh my gosh. Lock Every Door is my favorite Riley Sager so far. It was definitely a good one. It was super I read it so fast and I still remember that thriller. A lot of thrillers for me, that genre is the one where I forget things right away. After I finish a book, there's a great chance that I'm not going to remember it by the end of the month. Like if for instance, actually I'm not going to get into actually naming books because that would take forever. But I don't know, am I the only one? I feel like in the thriller genre, as soon as I finish a book, like most of the time, I'm not going to remember it by, in a couple weeks. And that one stuck with me. I remember the plot, I remember the twist, I remember, everything about it. But let me know if I'm alone in that because I'd love to know if I'm just crazy or if I just have terrible memory or something. I find that I love Riley Sager's concepts more than his execution. I'm always left a bit disappointed. I've seen that too with Riley Sager, and also he's very, very overhyped. So I feel like it'd be very easy to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the best book ever because he's an author. I feel like every single person is just reading all of his books. And so I'm kind of a little bit glad almost that I haven't read a lot of them because like too many people are reading them. I feel like it's like his book comes out and everyone's reading it right away, which I get it. He's a very popular author, but I've taken my time and I can sit back and see, wow, Aaron and Nikia are just having like a total conversation here. Oh my gosh. I want to do a live with both of you guys actually. Lauren, The Last Time I Lied is my favorite. Yeah, that's the one I'm definitely more interested in. I am not gonna I was gonna try and actually reach back here and grab all the books, but that'd be too chaotic. So, I love your opinions. They always make me giggle. I agree with that. I'm just gonna join in with your conversation. Um, I love your reviews, Aaron. I just heard a car door out my window or out my door. But yeah, I think The Last Time I Lied is definitely going to be the next one. And also, I feel like this, speaking of what I was doing before I checked those comments, I think this is going to be a book that does not stay with me because I'm kind of already forgetting. Like, they mentioned characters that don't really like mean a lot to the story in the beginning of this, or maybe they will, I guess. I don't know. And I've like already forgotten their names because I can't remember it. But if a thriller book um has to be so memorable for me to um still, talk about it and like it. I still have some books that I read, a few years ago that really stuck with me. But yeah, a lot of the ones I've been reading this year haven't been anything amazing. I don't know. Jealous of your bottom books behind you. Thank you. I got this cart from Target. Um, and I have all of my book of the month books on it. There's three different rows. I think I talked about this at the beginning. I don't know if you were here. There's three different rows. The top one is kind of books that either one of us wants to read sooner, but also it might be books that we just reference a lot. Like we talk about Riley Sager books, or Zach does in his videos a lot. So those are on the top. And then the second row is more books that kind of like are the next tier. Like maybe we'll get to them soon. And then the bottom is either books we already read and didn't like, but still book of the month thrillers, or books that are just like not top priority. Would love that. Great. I would love that too. I'm sorry this comment isn't about books, but wanted to tell you your house is decorated so cute. Thank you. I went through a phase maybe a couple years ago where I was very, very into home decor, home decorating. I would literally watch those videos on YouTube. I would read the like catalogs, the books, and everything. And so I definitely got a lot of inspiration from that. But yeah, I don't know. I appreciate the comment. Yeah. We have another book cart like this one, and it's a little bit down, and it has a bunch of other thrillers in it too. And then we have a full bookcase of thrillers that are kind of more of like the backlist titles that, maybe we reference in videos or TBRs or something that we'll eventually get to, but aren't like top priority. But this is the main room where we sit. If you watch my husband's channel, he sits directly in front of where I'm sitting right now. And this is basically kind of where we hang out too, because we have this big table. And this is where we play games and eat and all of that. But yeah. Love your decor. Thank you. Thank you very much. There's a video that the two of you did, you and Aaron, that I also am interested in doing. And I would, of course, shout both of you out. It was the reacting to 1-star reviews of my favorite books. I think that's the title. And I loved both of those videos so much, and I've actually gotten other people to watch them too. And I love the concept, and I want Zach and I to do it uh, as well. Where's Bailey? Bailey is currently in her room sleeping. We have a bedroom. We don't have any kids or anything, so we're able to have a bedroom in our house that's basically Bailey's room, is what we call it, and all of her toys and her bed is in there. So she wanders in and out of there, and it's basically she's spoiled, and she gets pretty much a whole bedroom that is just dedicated to her because we don't have any children or anything to need that bedroom for anything else. So I could try and get her over here, although I'd have to probably turn off my camera. So maybe next sprint, I'll make sure to get a Bailey cameo. Actually, though, I'll show a picture of Bailey because my channel is newer and um I haven't really shown Bailey. Maybe in my vlogs actually. Let's see if I can pull up a quick picture of her. She's pretty cute. She's a beagle, and there we go. Ah, hopefully they'll wait. I don't know. I'm trying to find a good angle. It's so overexposed. It was actually better the first time. Let me see. Ah, there we go. That's Bailey. She's a cutie. She's a beagle, and she's. I always forget how old she is. I think she's 4 because we got her pretty much right. We got this house in like 6 months after we got married, which our 5-year anniversary is coming up in October actually. So yeah, that would make sense. 4 years because we got Bailey. Zach was super adamant about getting a dog, and I definitely wanted one too, but I wanted to like settle into our house a little bit. And we got our house in June, and by August we had already gotten a dog, which is Bailey. So Bailey deserves to be spoiled. She's adorable. She is pretty cute. She's a very timid dog. So she's great with people because she is so timid. She just will honestly just want to cuddle with everyone. But she's not very good with other dogs just because she's like scared of them. And so she kind of keeps to herself a little bit. She's very shy. OMG, I love Bailey. So freaking cute. Yeah, she is. Your dog is cute too, Letty. I've seen her. So yeah, that's Bailey. But do we want to sprint again, or do we want to call it a wrap on these? And then Nikia and Aaron, we should plan a time where we can all do reading sprints together because I would love that because you two are my favorites. But I don't know what to do with this book, guys. It's just taking so long. It's 270 pages. So yeah, I still have 150 pages to go. Also, Erin, fun fact about her, she's like the fastest reader ever. I swear she reads like 50 books a month. That is a pretty dog. My first dog was a beagle. They're really great dogs. They're very adventurous and they're very friendly. So that's exactly when Bailey is just with us and in our backyard, she's definitely very adventurous. She's always trying to get into things that she's always trying to find something. And so we love that about her. So yeah, that's Bailey May. That's what we call her, is Bailey May. Do we want to sprint again or wait and maybe do some more later? You'll have to let me know. I have my meeting in 1 hour, so I would only be able to do one more sprint. But yeah. Also, Nikia, I think your only available times to do reading sprints would be at 8:30 p.m., right? Central Time? Am I right? Because that's when we were going to do a podcast. You'll have to let me know. I'm forgetful, very forgetful. So let me know. But I would be down for late night sprints. I'm not against that. Like I said, Zach doesn't ever get home until, I'm not saying tonight. Zach doesn't ever get home, though, until like 10 o'clock from work. So I'm always up late anyway. I'm going to bring another sprint. If you want to leave now and do some later, that's fine. All right, cool. I will try and come on later. I wish that Zach would be able to come on with me because it's more fun to do it with another person. But yeah, I can try and go on later. It probably would be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I think. 6 or 6:30 Central Standard Time because my meeting is at 5. It might only be 20 minutes, so it could be before that. It'll probably be very impromptu. Oh no, you're totally fine, Tina. You're totally fine. It'd be very impromptu if on when I did it because, like I said, it'll depend on when I'm done with the meeting. During the week, I'm available after 6 p.m. PT, and I'm usually available on the weekends. 6 p.m. PT, so that'd be 8 o'clock my time. But you said Tuesdays are the days that you usually can't do stuff. Am I right about that? Tuesday nights are the ones that you're always busy on. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. But I think I'm gonna wrap up these sprints then, and then yeah, um I can get on later. I'll be by myself again, so be nice to me and hang out with me. It makes me so anxious being by myself. I'm on the West Coast. I did know that. I think for me, PT to Central Standard Time is, I think that'd be 8 o'clock my time, but I don't know. And then Aaron, I can't remember. Are you Eastern time? No, you're not. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. We'll figure it out. Thanks for the sprints. No problem. I guess I'll see you guys potentially later. I hope you have a great afternoon, and maybe I'll be seeing you in a few hours. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next sprints. Bye.